everyone, my name is Aishna. I am the assistant editor at CA Club India. And so as you all know that the CA exams are scheduled from 5th July 2021 onwards, and there has been a lot of buzz and the student concerns about the same. So today we have with us Advocate Anubha Shrivastava, President of Parents Association and a child rights activist, who will be making us aware of several concerns of the students and relief measures that they are looking for. So welcome to CA Club India, ma'am.
Thank you for having me here and for conducting this interview, because many students are facing a lot of problem. See, aspirants who are going to appear for the upcoming exams, which are going to be held from 5th of July. So thank you for raising this issue.
So first of all, let's talk about student concerns. So what do you think are the concerns of the students regarding the July 21 exams?
See, as far as the July 21 exams are concerned, that is May cycle, many students have been approaching us since past 2 months that these are the concerns which they are facing if the exams are going to be held in offline mode. Many students are not in a position to appear for exam because of various reasons due to pandemic. And the major concern is the vaccination point, which we have taken up in our PIL, which the students are also demanding that the students be vaccinated before before ICI conducts any exam in physical mode. Students should be vaccinated, and in fact, even members, ICI members are also, there's a drive which is going on, and the members are being vaccinated. So students are also requesting that we should also be given vaccine before we go for exam, because these exams can turn into super spreader. That is what we are expecting, and we are also demanding that there should be vaccination drive for the exam, so that exam should not turn into super spreader. So that is the first concern the students are raising. Now, second is that what they are requesting is for an opt-out option. If vaccination is done, then there is no problem. Students will go and appear for exam. So that's why they are requesting for a deferment, that the exams be deferred for another month's time or 1.5 months time, so that vaccination is done, and then students will be free. They will be at free will and will go and appear for exam without having any kind of mental stress. Second point is an opt-out option. If the institute conducts the exam, even without going ahead with the vaccination, if the institute is firm and they want to conduct exam, and which they should. We are not saying that exam should be cancelled. We are saying that exam should be conducted properly, but after following all the safety protocols. Now, as regards the opt-out option, what students are requesting that the students be given a chance to opt out for whatsoever reason, be it medical condition, or maybe they're having some other accommodation problem or transportation issues or some other medical related problem, anything related to COVID. So on that basis, students should be given a chance to opt out before the exam and also during the exam, which was done even previous year by the institute. So even this year, when situation is more serious as compared to previous year, I think the students should be given this option for opt-out, and all the students should be given that chance. It is not that the students don't want to study. All these are CA aspirants, and they are studying since many years. Many have cleared foundation, inter, and now many are in final. So that is the second relief which we are seeking, and even students are demanding opt-out for all. Then opt-out for all after that, an alternate attempt before November. What they are requesting is that an alternate attempt should be given, and an exam should be held, but that too should be held before November. Before November cycle, the May cycle exam should be conducted. It should not be merged like they did last year. Last year they merged both the cycles. So because of that, a lot of students had to face problem. Many articles are there. They take leave. So many issues are there. So merging is what they are not in favor. So they want an alternate attempt, but before November cycle. That is the second relief and prayer also, which we are seeking, and their demand. Third one is that extension of old course students belonging to last attempters who belongs to old course, intermediate, and as well as final course. These students are demanding an extension because they deserve. Many students, we know how they are now in this, because of second wave. We can see how the students and many parents and their family members are struggling with the COVID and COVID complications. So many are in hospital, many are still struggling with post-COVID complications. So these last attempters are requesting for an extension till November, or maybe further if it is possible till we have a pandemic. So this is what the students are pleading and requesting, and that is also one of our prayers, that an extension should be given to all these last attempters who belong to IPCC and even final. So this is the third relief which we are seeking from Honorable Supreme Court and also from ICI. The students are requesting, and they have written several various letters also. That is the third relief. Now, after that also, students, what they are requesting is that opt-out option opt-out option should be provided during and before and during the exam, extension to all the students belonging to old course, and also an alternate attempt for all old course students also. Now, what we are also demanding, apart from these reliefs which students have been requesting, we are demanding that this exam should be conducted in a safe environment. ICI should have more number of centers, because what happened in November, we have seen several reports, and also many students have shared several data and documents with us. And in one particular center, they have merged 5 to 6 centers. In one center, they have merged 5-6 centers. So instead of following the protocol and guideline of the MHA guidelines, because central government guideline was that there cannot be more than there cannot be a gathering of more than 100 people in one particular location. So that was being violated by the institute, where I also found through various reports that in one center there were more than even 200, 300, and even 400 students in one center. So the institute should open more centers. They did open more centers. They doubled their centers. But what they did, in one center, they merged 4-5 centers, 6-7 centers in one particular center. So, so if this will happen even this year, particular year, they are going to conduct exam in this manner, then just imagine what will happen. These centers will turn into super spreaders. So there should not be more than 50 or 60 students in one center, because there will be huge crowd which will be gathered outside examination center, and also exit and entry gates are also limited. We have only 1 or 2 or 3 gates in one particular center or school. So the gathering should be avoided. That's why we are requesting that more and more number of centers should be opened by ICAI to avoid gathering, to avoid crowd at one particular center. This is our demand in our PIL. Now, we are demanding vaccination. Students are also demanding. We are also requesting for RT-PCR test to be done of all the students, as well as the members or maybe invigilators, whosoever will be entering the examination center, and RT-PCR should be mandatory. This is what we are praying. Now, apart from that, we are also requesting for transportation and accommodation facility. If it is possible, then transportation facility should also be provided to these students, and an e-pass should be released. Because some students complained me recently that even though last year the institute told them that your admit card will be treated as e-pass, but many students could not travel in public transport, because in Mumbai and other cities also, all of a sudden the government announced that the public transport will not be now available due to immediate lockdown, due to surge in cases. Many students could not travel in public transport, because in their admit card it was not mentioned that it is an e-pass. So e-pass should be provided to all the students if they are going to appear for exam. And if any lockdown happens all of a sudden in any center or in any area in any city, then these students should not be stopped by the local authorities. That has done. So because what will happen, one of the students told me that he spent almost 25 to 30,000 in traveling. So transport plus accommodation also, if it can be provided, that is what we are requesting the Honorable Court. And apart from that, COVID test, that is RT-PCR, vaccination. And one more thing is that we are requesting is to declare the results on time before the May cycle or before the next examination. Whenever the next exam will happen, the institute should declare the result on time, at least 7 days before, so that student will get to know, these aspirants will get to know whether they have to continue and whether they have to opt out again, or they have to again appear for the exam or not. So the declaration of result before the next exam, at least 7 days or 15 days, is must. Because what happened in January attempt, many students could not appear for exam which was conducted in January because the results were not out. So we are requesting that the results of all these students from May attempt, whether they are opting out or they are not opting out, they should be declared together before the next cycle of exam or before any exam which the institute is planning to conduct. So declaration of result is on time, that is what we are requesting. Apart from that, we are also requesting that the exam should be conducted in a staggered manner. Staggered manner in the sense, if they plan, they can conduct it for foundation, later on maybe for IPCC old course and new course, and then for intermediate separately. So let institute give importance to priority to the last attempters and the final course students. So because they have to clear their exam, they are the ones who have to get a degree and then move ahead. Then later on they can hold exam for intermediate, and then afterwards within a gap of 5 days or so, they can hold exam, conduct exam for foundation. So within a gap of 5 days, these exams can be conducted in a staggered manner. That is what we are praying and requesting the Honorable Supreme Court and even the institute. So these are some of the major demands which we have, and these are some of the reliefs for which we have moved the PIL before Honorable Supreme Court, and I hope that institute will consider.
So ma'am, we talked about the PIL. Can you throw some light on the current progress of the PIL?
See, we have moved an application for urgent listing or also for some interim relief, and as of now the tentative date which is showing is 28th. So most likely the matter is going to be taken up on 28th.
Okay, 28th June.
Yeah, 28th.
Okay. And we are talking about the opt-out facility also, which was also provided last year to students. So ICI has given a conditional opt-out. So what are your views on the opt-out facility that has currently been given?
Now, as far as the opt-out, conditional opt-out is concerned, if we will look at the number of students who are going to opt out, only those students will be able to opt out who will submit the RT-PCR test of that student or their family members from the day of announcement of that notification. Now, what will happen? Those students who will not be given the chance to opt out, I'm talking about safety concern first of all, then what students will have problem. Now, as far as safety is concerned, if institute will allow students who will not submit their report or their family members report who were COVID positive before the announcement of the opt-out scheme or before the announcement of the guidelines and also the admit card, suppose a day before or 1 week before or a month back, any student or their family members are COVID positive, and if opt-out scheme is not applicable for those students, then they will go and appear for exam. There are chances many students may go and appear for exam and it will turn into super spreader, because how are you going to find out whether that student or their family members are COVID positive or not? The check, they are going to, there will be a machine through which they will be checking their temperature. But that is not temperature or fever is one of the I would say
Symptoms.
One of the symptoms of being COVID positive, but there are several other symptoms also. So how they are going to check and find out whether that student is COVID positive or his family member is COVID positive or not? So a student who may be from final year, who will be in a rush to go and appear for exam, irrespective of whether other students will get infected from him or not, he will infect more other students, not only inside centers, but also in transport. So if institute will be issuing admit card, e-card to all those students, as far as safety is concerned, I'm telling you, if the institute is giving e-card, e-pass to those students who are COVID positive before the announcement of the admit card and the opt-out scheme, so that student will travel anywhere in public transport. He may also infect others, not only in inside center or not only inside or outside center, but that student will infect other students and other citizens also, who may not be even aware that whether he's COVID positive or not. So allowing the students to go and appear for exam, if you're COVID positive before the announcement of the opt-out option, will definitely turn these centers into super spreaders. Not only centers, even that city or that particular area or location will turn into super spreaders. They will spread virus. So this is something very unconstitutional and very risky also, as far as the safety guidelines are concerned. I don't know how they have come up with such kind of guideline where they're allowing students to go and appear for exam if they're COVID positive just a day before the announcement of the opt-out option and also the admit card. So that is the safety aspect. Now regarding the career of the students, regarding the students who will not be getting this option of opt-out, even though they want to opt out because of many conditions, because of many reasons pertaining to COVID or post-COVID complications in their family, or maybe in that particular building where they are staying, or there are several other issues also, transport or accommodation, then that student will lose opportunity to appear for exam, even if that student wants to go and appear for exam, but he may not be in a position to appear for exam because he has not been given opt-out option. So opt-out option should be available for the students who will be submitting their COVID test report or other reports also before the announcement of the scheme and admit card, release of admit card. They also should be considered, and I think it should be given for all the students. Such opt-out scheme should be available for all the students, irrespective of whether they're COVID positive or their family is COVID positive, because there are other complications also, post-COVID complications, then other major issues also. Now, in that opt-out scheme, they have also given that only opt-out will be applicable for, you will be getting opt-out option only if you will submit the report, your report being COVID positive or your family members report if they are COVID positive. Distant relative they have not included. Now those who will be staying in suppose a close family, or those who are in joint family, those who are staying with joint family, what will happen to those students? So they will not be allowed to appear for exam, or they will not get opt-out option. So this is also very discriminatory and unconstitutional. So opt-out should be available even if you are having any COVID symptoms. If you have any fever or you have any other COVID symptoms, you get a prescription or maybe some letter from any medical authority or any doctor that you are having all these COVID symptoms, and you go and opt out. So opt out should be available for all, even if you're having any COVID symptoms. That should this policy or whatever guidelines they have come up with, they should make some changes in that guideline. And opt-out should be available for those, even if anyone is having any kind of problem pertaining to COVID symptoms.
And as we all know that another representation letter was written by approximately 6,000 students to the Chief Justice of India. So what are the students pleading for in that representation letter?
See, in that representation also, students are demanding same, like they are also requesting for opt-out scheme. Opt-out should be available for all before the exam and during the exam. An alternate attempt, again, an alternate arrangement should be made for another exam before November cycle is what they are requesting. And they are also saying that both the cycle should not be merged. An extension, they are demanding for old course students, the last attempters. So these are their basic and major demands, and that is what they are pleading, Honorable Chief Justice. And they're also requesting that their application also should be merged and heard along with the other PILs and the PIL which we have moved. So these are the basic same concern which we are also raising, same prayers. We are having some other prayers also, but these students are basically requesting that an opt-out option should be available for all the students before and during the exam, an alternate attempt and extension of old course students. That is what they are requesting. And one more request has come recently, where the students are requesting that many students from old and new scheme, their exemption limit is going to expire. Now, this will be the last attempt. They get exemption also. If you have scored 60 and above, then you are exempted for next 3 years. You don't have to appear for that exam for next 3 attempts. So the students, there are many students, their exemption limit is going to now end for this particular year, for this particular attempt also. In May attempt, there are many students who will be writing their exam for last time, because their exemption limit is going to end now. So they are also requesting for extension of that exemption, which has been given for 3 years. They want now it should be further be given for November attempt also. So that is also these students are requesting. So that also we are going to press, and I think even institutes should provide another chance to all these students who are having their last exemption this year.
Ma'am, what are your views on the postponement of exams to either August, September, or I think we've already cleared that students are not demanding the merging of the May exams with the November exams. But what are your views on the postponement to either August or September?
See, July, I don't know whether the institute is going to even conduct the exam for all the students across India, because it's a pan-India exam. If they are going to conduct exam for 1 or 5 or 10, 15 states and rest other students will be left out, then there is no point, because we are many states are still under lockdown. Local lockdowns are there. So many states and cities are still under lockdown. And even institute has in their notification, they have also specified that some of the centers, the students could not get some of the centers because they could not get permission. So they have changed their centers. And some students told me from Northeast that now their center is located, I think, more than 400 or 300 kilometers. So they have to travel for almost 5 hours. So how these students are going to make arrangement? So when institute is holding any exam, they should ensure that each and every student should be able to appear for exam in a comfortable manner. You don't come up with a notification that we are conducting exams and these are the examination centers, that we are changing now centers to those students who belong to this particular state or city because we could not get permission. And what happened in November, students told me that even one day before their exam, institute had to change the center. They changed the center just one day before exam, 30-40 kilometers away. If public transport is not available, how these students are going to travel? Or in case agar wo student ko message nahi aaya because of some internet problem or whatsoever, if that student will not get message that your center is going to be changed tomorrow from this center to that center, then he will lose opportunity. He will go to that particular center only usko jo allot kiya tha. So that also should be ensured by institute, that if you are not able to hold exam in all the centers, then you defer it, because it's pandemic. Again, are you going to conduct exam for these many students from one state or 4-5 states? They don't have time. They cannot conduct so many exams in 1 year. So if possible, we are requesting that the exam should be deferred till they get the centers and permission from all the states, because many states are still under lockdown. And vaccination is what you vaccinate and then you conduct exam, then there will be no problem at all. Students will not face any problem and freely they will go and move, and I think they will get permission also. You're vaccinated in Maharashtra also and in other cities also. If you're vaccinated, they're permitting you. And now in other countries also, when students are 12th board students are now moving to other countries, they are getting themselves vaccinated, because other countries are demanding that you should vaccinate yourself and then only you'll be allowed to travel. So that should be implemented in India also, that we can start with CA exams. They can vaccinate panel students, panel course students, then later on intermediate and then foundation. That can happen. So at least a deferment till all these arrangements are in place. That is what we are requesting. And exam centers should not be changed just a day or 2 days before the exam.
So ma'am, like if we had to summarize our talk and talk about the solution to all of this, in maybe like four to 5 points, we can quickly just talk about the solution that can benefit the students as well.
The solution is that my only concern is vaccination. If you are able to vaccinate students before the exam, that is the best solution for any exam, not only ICI. So if you are able to vaccinate, then that is the best solution. If you're not in a position to vaccinate all the students, then in that case, you defer the exam for maybe another 15-20 days or 1 month till the situation is under control in the month of August. And most of the students will be in a position to appear for exam because the cities and other states will be out of lockdown. So defer it for a month, that can be possible, so that more and more students will be able to appear for exam. Then give opt-out option for all, irrespective of whether they're COVID or not, or their family members are COVID or not. Even if they're having any kind of COVID symptoms, then also we give opt-out option. Then in that case, many students may opt out and they may appear for exam whenever they want, maybe in next attempt. Then the merging should not happen. May cycle and November cycle should not be merged because many students wants to appear for exam from final year, from old course. So all these relief should be given to the students if the institute is going ahead with conducting exam. So there are several ways through which we can find out a solution and have a dialogue with students. That is also missing. That's what I feel, that institute should have a communication. There's no proper communication between institute and these students. That's what they're complaining all the time. So students, there should be some number, some call center or some other number where the students can call and register their grievance, and let there be a communication. Because if you will see, after we file our PIL, ICSI has deferred their exam and they have given opt-out option for the students. They have also given extension. So if other sister concern institutions are sister body institutions, if they are giving relief to the students, why not ICI? So my humble appeal through a channel also to institute that have a dialogue with all these students, have a communication with all these students, and whatever issues they are facing after the release of admit card, you please try to sort it out and give them all the relief. If they want to appear for exam, hold exam. But if you're not able to, if the student who is willing to appear for exam and you're not able to provide center for all those students, in that case, what will happen then? So provide centers for those who are able to appear for exam, but if it is not feasible, then defer it for that 15-20 days or 1 month till August. So it can be sorted out. I don't think there will be any problem, and we don't have to interfere every time, every year, that we have to go and file a PIL. That should not happen, and institute should support their students, which they are. I'm not denying that institute is supporting. Even last year, they have given several reliefs. And this year also, I was expecting that the institute will be giving, but once I read the notification, I was also surprised that how they can just differentiate between students who were COVID positive on the day of announcement and who were COVID positive before the announcement of the report card and other guidelines. So a solution can be found out through communication, and we are always there to help and support both students as well as institute. So these are our suggestions which we have put forth, and students are also writing and using social media to express their concern. So that should be addressed.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for this interview. And I hope that the student concerns are addressed, and ICI also helps their students, and there is a positive atmosphere regarding the conduction of exams. So thank you so much.
Right.